Minister of Justice. The 11 PDP governors representing Adamawa, Enugu, Osun, Oyo, Bauchi, Akwa Ibom, Plateau State, Delta State, Taraba State, Zamfara State, and Bayelsa State approached the Supreme Court to challenge to suspend an elected state government structure. While earlier media reports had suggested that the suit had already been filed, The Punch exclusively reported that the suit was only filed late on Tuesday. The federal government was given 14 days to file a response to the suit. The suit questions the legality of President Tinubu's March 18 proclamation, which declared a state of emergency in Rivers State and suspended Governor Fubara, the deputy governor, and all members of the State House of Assembly. Well, we saw this coming, and I'm sure that the federal government will prepare its defense as soon as possible to ensure that, it was expected anyways.
Yes.
And just like you've always said, where were the states?
Yes.
Where were these governors before things escalated to this point?
Yes.
But then, it's already been filed. It's in court. So you can only talk less about it.
Yes, like I always say again, more theater, more drama.
Drama.
Yes, I have this one here, which says we'll partner with US on investments, education, others. That is according to Governor Sheyi Makinde. Yes, Governor Sheyi Makinde. That was during a courtesy visit by the United States of America Consul General, led by Deputy Chief Political and Economic Section Kenneth Hill, where I paid him a courtesy visit at the Governor's Office section, Secretariat Ibadan. And Governor Makinde, who was represented by the Deputy Governor, Chief Abdulrahim Bayolawal, said his administration had put in place policies which will aid engagement on solid minerals, development, environment, agribusiness, which is Governor Makinde's pet project. Yes. And energy supply, among others. And yes, another second pet project, which has gone so a long way now. Yes, that is what the state government is trying to do now, to partner with the U.S. on investment, education, others, agribusiness, which will, improve the economy of your state and improve the lives of people of the state.
That's a very good welcome development. Just like I said, it's the governor's pet project, and we've seen what he has been able to do with the Fashola
Agribusiness
Hub, where we have a lot of investors coming there and invest, in agribusiness. And one thing I like about this story you just read is that while the deputy governor was representing the governor, to come up with this particular with the United States, the governor himself has been in France doing a similar thing, over there, and it shows that the government is indeed working in ensuring that the economy of your state improves.
Yes,
and of course, there's food for all. Very important. Yes. It is a major. It's major, for the states, for survival.
Yes, food for all. And of course, money for all, if possible. Money
for all. Exactly. Money for all. I'm with you on that. The fantastic one for the state government, but we can only wish that it continues. It continues. And just like the Honorable Commissioner for Information mentioned a few days ago, at a ceremony, he said he pities whosoever will take over from this governor, because the prayer and the demands will be high, as the governor has raised the bar.
Yes,
and honestly, I think that's the case. To match what the governor has achieved, it will be difficult. So whosoever is coming on board, you need to match whatever the governor is currently doing. All right, let's check out the Vanguard. And here's a former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, speaking this morning.
He's in the news this morning.
I left office with same physical assets I had before my presidency. Well, former President Muhammadu Buhari has advised those in leadership position to attach more importance to the welfare of the people than their personal welfare. The former president also said that he left office as a president with the same physical assets he had before his election. Speaking when he received governors elected on the platform of the APC in his Kaduna residence, Buhari advised them to adopt a citizen-centric approach, saying that the leadership presents both a challenge and opportunity, and that balancing the two would significantly advance national progress. He expressed confidence in the progress being made by the Progressive Governors Forum (PGF), and reiterated his call for continued dedication to the nation's progress. Well, I left office with same physical assets I had before my presidency. Muhammadu Buhari.
Yes.
You can find that in the Vanguard this morning.
Well, it might be. I'm not too sure. Maybe that is a.
He said physical assets.
Physical assets. Well, his ranch, ranches, and his farm, and his household house, and his cars. Okay.
And not financial.
Not financial assets.
Not financial assets. No current one. It's fixed there. Okay. We'll make do with that.
Yes, this one says Agbakuba calls for meaningful restructuring, knocks current federal structure. Former president of the Nigeria Bar Association, NBA, Dr. Ulisa Agbakuba, SAN, has knocked the current federal structure of Nigeria that excessively centralized power and resources at the federal level, while limiting the autonomy and capacity of states and local governments, saying that these arrangements have proven not only inefficient, but that also contributed to poor governance outcomes across the country, and therefore the need for meaningful restructuring. Agbakuba, who made this call on Wednesday at the press conference at his Apapa Lagos office, said the country urgently needed a new constitution with meaningful restructuring against the current model of piecemeal constitutional amendment, which, according to him, has proven ineffective, taking far too long, over 20 years, and failing to win popular and legitimate acceptance. Well, I think it's just waking up, because this issue has been on for a long time. It's now just calling for meaningful restructuring and knocking federal government for a presidential system of governance.
I think it's long overdue.
Yes, we know, but him, just
realizing at this point.
At this point, yes.
All right, let's go back to River State. I mean, River State will continue to be in the news. All right, the latest from River State this morning from the Punch newspaper. Ibas appoint administrators for 23 Rivers local governments. Rivers State Sole Administrator, Vice Admiral Ibas, retired, has approved the appointment of administrators for the 23 local government areas of the state. This comes less than 24 hours after a federal high court sitting in Port Harcourt reportedly trained him from appointing administrators to oversee the affairs of the local government councils. The order was issued by Justice Adam Mohammed on Tuesday. And of course, in the case filed by Pilex Center and Civic Education Initiative led by the Courage must move against the sole administrator in his official capacity. However, Ibas also approved the constitution of some boards of agencies, commissions, and parastatals which he had earlier suspended. The approval was contained in a special government announcement issued on Wednesday morning by the Secretary to the state government, Professor Ibibia Wurika. The statement said the appointment takes immediate effect. And according to, in similar vein, Nigerian Tribune says Ibas under fire over appointment of local government administrators in Rivers State.
Yes, That is a sole administrator appointing administrators at the local government level, and I think the court came in and they said it was illegal, null and void. And
still went ahead
to yes, I think it's a planned work.
I mean, honestly, even before the court made any pronouncement, I saw that coming. I knew he was going to do all of that because he's in charge, and he would want to, lay claim to everything.
Yes, and then a chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, Chekwa Sokoli, said the dissolution of the local government council chairman in Rivers State and appointment of administrators for the councils by Vice Admiral Ibas should take no one by surprise. And he was speaking with Nigerian Tribune, and Okuli noted that President Bola Tinubu had usurped the power of the National Assembly to oversee the affairs of Rivers State when the National Assembly was looking when problems were happening in Rivers State.
Okay, let's go international a bit this morning, and this actually got me a little impressed, and it's coming from Niger Republic, from the Punch newspaper. Niger dumps French, adopts Hausa as national language. The Niger military government has officially made Hausa the country's new national language, moving away from its colonialist past, where French played a central role. The change was announced in a new charter released on the 31st of March, published in a special edition of the government's official journal. According to the document, the national language is Hausa, and the working languages are English and French. Hausa is already the most commonly spoken.
I'm now getting things right.
Already putting that into perspective yes. to say, okay, maybe that's the case. I like that.
Implementation of e-visa begins May 1, says federal government, and foreigners on Interpol's red notice arrested. The federal government has disclosed that arrangements have been concluded for full implementation of its new electronic visa e-visa system effective from May 1st, 2025. That is May Day, on May Day. Minister of Interior Dr. Oluyole announced this during a joint press briefing with Aviation Minister Festus Keyamo in Abuja on Wednesday, and the meeting was on implementation and enforcement of immigration protocols. He also revealed that the Nigerian government has arrested foreigners on Interpol's red notice list and handed them over to the organization with the help of the Advanced Passenger Information API system. I think the one that interests me most is the implementation of the e-visa, which begins on May 1. Well, if e-visa, if it works, if it scales through,
we pray it does. We pray it does, because a lot goes into that. The current situation of e-visa. There's always been something similar. E-registration has always been in place,
yes,
but it has never been enforced. If you go out there, register online, and you don't go to the office, you might never get it in months. So now calling for e-visa, we pray it works. It's key.
Yes,
it's key. It's key, especially for those abroad who want to probably renew and all. They don't have to go to any physical office to get that done.
Yes.
All right, before we take this call, let's visit the Vanguard newspaper, where Peter Obi is in the news this morning. He says, "Speak up. Nigeria is collapsing. Don't fear anybody." The presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 general election, Mr. Peter Obi, has urged party members not to fear anyone, stressing that Nigeria is in a state of collapse and urgently needs rescue. He made the remarks while addressing party members during the ongoing National Executive Council meeting in Abuja. He emphasized that the need for unity and inclusion within the party. Looking ahead to future elections, Obi stated that, and I quote, "We want to go into the next election fully prepared, offering Nigerians the best and most competent candidates for the House of Representatives, the Senate, governorships, and presidency." Labour Party just I think they just woke up, right?
Yes.
And I'm kind of disappointed in some of their members in National Assembly. You know, none of them spoke against the River State pronouncement. They unanimously approved, right?
Yes.
But they are supposed to be opposition party.
Yes.
Then your presidential candidate is saying something else. I mean, you should speak in one voice. Now he's saying we need to prepare. We did not prepare in 2023.
I don't think they are together.
Exactly. No, they are not together. It's crystal clear. I mean, we've had their spokesperson, the camp. We've had several issues there. And yeah, even an opposition party. You are supposed to. I mean, your presidential candidate is saying something else. Your members in the National Assembly are saying another thing. I mean, that's not how to run things.
Yes.
It is politics.
Yes, politics.
You're playing according to the game.
Yes. And that means, well, it might backfire at the end of the day if they don't put things right.
Put things right. I mean, 2027 is just here.
Yes.
So politicians, 2027 is in 3 days' time.
Yes. Yes, we quickly take some calls, few calls before we go ahead with some other headlines. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Well, we lost that. You can call us back. Yes, on this line 08055009850 and 07055551985. Those are the numbers to call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. You are welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Bulaju, you are welcome.
Good morning, sir.
Yes. Yeah. This Naira for good or good for Naira. It's a welcome development. So people will say that these people, they are not hearing us. We should keep our mouth shut. No, they are hearing us. Even if they are not hearing us on this platform, there are many radio stations in Ibadan, all over Nigeria. No, kudos to federal government. God bless you. Enjoy your day.
Thank you very much.
They're hearing us. We've always talked about this on this program.
Yes.
And that's why we call on you. It's not about us alone. Come and speak up. React to all the stories.
Yes.
They're listening and they will take action.
Yes. Hello, good morning.
Yes, hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm a little brother.
Mr. Mariam, you're welcome.
I'm not a good fellow. Welcome at rest. The person has done well. The man proved that the man of the NDPC. On the same matter, the president is sure to make the same back. Call week about that. She was a captain in Sudan State. God says the legacy of the third matter. The one that I appointed. After the committee called in Nigeria. That is not one at all. In body matter. Alas, the 9 matches, you want to be innocent. What I suppose I use, something like co-members. You should go and sit down. Thank you much.
Thank you very much. The program is still conversation. We're still expecting about 2 more calls before we move on. 0055009850. That's the number to call, or 07055551985. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm calling from Gitanero Gumasho.
Yeah, Monsora, you're welcome. It's been a long time.
Goodness and mercy of God will follow us in Nigeria.
Amen.
Good for our federal government to say that we want to sell our cooked oil naira to naira for work in Nigeria, so that it will be easy. It's easy for them to sell it as lower price for us in Nigeria. What will be with them? Thanks.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, Monsora. Yes, that is Monsora's opinion about that, and others too. Yes, just one more call before we move ahead. 08055009850 and 07055551985. Hello, good morning. Hello? Hello, good morning. Good morning, yes. Well, please, I want to urge you, don't just play pranks on us on this program. If you want to call, make calls straight. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Ayola from Ikire, Osun State.
You are welcome.
I think we are in Nigeria, and we are not supposed to do anything like that for now. Because when we have our own naira, that is our own currency, why are we using another person's currency or another country's currency to sell our own product here? It's not fair. It's unfair. It's not good. That is my own contribution. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, let's move ahead with headlines.
Yes, to the last caller, and that is what has been corrected. Now it's naira to naira, no longer naira to dollar. Initially, before the Dangote refinery kicked off, it was a naira to dollar situation. But when they kicked off, there was a few months agreement with the federal government to say naira to naira. But then the agreement lapsed a few months ago, and Dangote have been having issues. That's why we had a little increase in the fuel prices. But now the federal government has said it will now be naira to naira, and it will be indefinite, not a temporary situation. All right, let's go to the nation's newspaper this morning. Tinubu doing a lot for the North. APC zonal chairman tells Atiku and El-Rufai. The national vice chairman, Northwest of the APC, Garba Mohammed, has called on former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and immediate past governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, to tread the path of caution ahead of the 2027 general election, while Mohammed called on Atiku to perish the thoughts of another presidential contest. He asked El-Rufai to return to the APC, a party which he once vowed never to exit as one of its founding members. The APC stalwart, in a statement yesterday, also said that the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has done a lot for the North, especially in terms of appointments. Here's two major advices here. First off, to the former Vice President, Atiku Abubakar, to say, don't even think of running again in 2027. Atiku has not come out to say that. He's not sure himself, if he will. And to one of the founding fathers of the APC, El-Rufai, they're asking him to return. But the question is, if your ideology does no longer align with the party
now, yes.
I mean, you have a right?
Yes.
You have a right to move. You're like, I think that's what he's done. So he's human. He can choose whatever he wants, whatever he believes in, with or without. But then I'm always a very strong supporter of situations like this, having oppositions, because sometimes it puts those in power in check.
Yes.
It puts them in check.
Yes. That is how it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
Now, let's have this on from the situation concerning President Donald Trump and the tariff issue imposed on some countries and China, with China also now Trump has announced a 90-day pause on tariffs, with exception of China. He deliberately left China out. Maybe he wants to really face China, and that
his
the
target initially,
yes,
it was China. China being a very strong economy themselves,
the second biggest economy in the world. Yes,
they will survive.
Yes, of course. President Donald Trump announced a complete 3-month pause on all the reciprocal tariffs that went into effect at midnight, with the exception of China, a stunning reversal from a president who had insisted historically high tariffs. Yes, we are here to stay, but enormous tariffs will remain on China, the world's second largest economy. In fact, Trump said they will be increased to 125% from 104% after China announced additional retaliatory tariffs against the United States earlier Wednesday. Yes, very good economic war.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, let's check out a similar story coming from the Nation's newspaper, where Edo seeks intra-Africa trade to survive tariff regimes. Nigeria has urged African countries to be resilient over the retaliatory tariff regimes some countries have imposed following the new trade policies introduced by United States President Donald Trump. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Oluyole, who spoke for the country, described the ties as call for deepening of intra-African trade. Speaking at the 4th World Customs Organization Donors Conference for West Africa and Central Africa region in Abuja, the minister said the consequences of the new tariff regime were still being studied all over the world. I love what Edwin just said here. Yes, major issue for African countries, especially with these tariff issues. And just like I said, they are still studying the impact. But one thing we need to learn from it as African is that we must promote intra-Africa trade.
Yes.
We must help ourselves. We must not make our border porous, but open it up for trade.
Yes.
You can't place a tariff on yourself, especially in this region. Now, something happens on this continent that baffles me so much. And we know that we don't have a very good network, low network system, transmission network system in Africa, like the European countries where you can, from one country to another, you can do business via rail, plane and all of that. In Africa alone, to travel from here to Kigali costs as much as traveling out of the continent.
Continent, yes.
Yes, out of the continent. And that is something that needs to be looked into. I want to do business in Ivory Coast. I want to do business in South Africa.
South Africa especially.
You understand? I mean, it's as expensive as going to the UK out of the continent. And that's one thing that we need to stay united in Africa. Ensure that we make things easier for us, at least for trade. Because all of this tariff regime, this US-China economic war, won't only affect those countries. We depend on these two economies on this continent. We must open up our borders for trade, intra-Africa trade. It's very, very important. Don't make life difficult for ourselves in Africa, because at the end of the day, I mean, it's us, it's Africa.
Well, like you said, opening of borders for inter-Africa trade. Well, it might be good, it might look good, but do you know we have about 235 porous borders in Nigeria? Yes. Porous borders.
And that's why I said it shouldn't be porous, but it should be open for trade.
Yes, apart from the ones that we know, the official ones that we know.
We have several ones.
Some other ones that nobody is manning.
No one is manning.
And
a lot of things happen there.
Yes.
So there is more work for the customs.
Customs, yes.
For immigration as well.
Immigration too.
To work together.
Even the police.
Nigerian police also work together and ensure that our borders are not porous and they're open up for trade.
Yes.
I mean, presidents of the African countries needs to come together. African Union needs to come together and do something about this. Very important.
Well, I don't know how they will, organize that, because there are some African countries that are, ruled by the military,
especially here in West Africa.
So I don't know how that one will work. So the federal government on Wednesday formally signed an engineering, procurement, construction and financing contract with the China Machinery Engineering Corporation on power transmission lines. The agreement, valued at over some billions of naira, signifies a major leap on the implementation of the Phase 1 of the Presidential Power Initiative, PPI. We hope it works. That is what will be held in Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3.
And the impact, we've not seen it.
Yes.
For us, we see this news in the paper, but we want to see them manifest. We want to see the impact. We want to have power. That's that. I mean, that's the end product, right? That's the end product. All right, so let's take a look at this. I think we discussed it a few weeks ago as well. The role of correctional centers in the country. This is coming from the Nation's newspaper. It says 51 prison inmates bags first and post degrees. 51 inmates of the Nigerian Immigration Service correctional centers in the country are among 17,420 students who will be conferred with various degrees at the 14th convocation of the National Open University tomorrow and Saturday. Out of 17,420 students, 16 obtained first-class degrees. Most importantly, the fact that inmates, are being considered to study, continue their life, learn, and because it's when we actually correct them, that's where we can, they can get into the society and become people in life, and not come and terrorize society after.
Yes, and we feel their impact. Then
exactly,
we feel their impact. Yes,
exactly. Trade, study. Look at this one's coming up with first degrees, postgraduate degrees, and all. I mean, that's what I want to hear. That's what I want to see.
Yes, sir. Yes, I think I did something about. Okay, the Transcorp Group total assets is 75.16 billion naira, and they are saying the federal government is owing them money and they should pay up their money. Well, they are under the federal government. Partnering with the federal government, so they will know how to arrange themselves on how the money will come back to them.
All right, let's check out the Vanguard newspaper this morning. It says Nigeria posts $6.83 billion balance of payment surplus in 2024. That's according to the Central Bank of Nigeria. The Central Bank of Nigeria has announced a balance of payments BOP surplus of $6.83 billion for the 2024 financial year, marking a decisive turnaround from deficits of $3.3 billion in 2023 and $3.32 billion deficit in 2022. The CBN made the announcement in a statement signed by the Acting Director of Corporate Communications, Sidi Ali Hakama. According to the Apex Bank, and I quote, "This improvement reflects the impact of wide-ranging macroeconomic reforms, stronger trade performance, and renewed investor confidence in Nigeria's economy, stronger trade and external accounts performance." Well, major improvement from the CBN. Yes.
Yes.
Good one for them. Posting $6.83 billion balance of payment surplus. We'll see. Major improvement from 2023 and 2022.
Yes. This one comes from the NIMR, and this affects the people. And I don't know how the people will, take this one. The Nigerian Institute of Medical Research, NIMR, Yaba Lagos, has raised concerns over the indiscriminate manner in which many Nigerians, especially urban dwellers, patronize street food vendors for their daily meals, saying the practice poses health risks. It also warned the people against a cholera outbreak as the rainy season approaches in the country. The Institute raised these concerns at the recent media forum addressed by Professor Stella Smith, who is the Director of Research and Head of the Department of Molecular and Biotechnology at the federal government-owned institute. According to her, patronizing street food vendors is prevalent mostly among the low and middle income earners who cannot afford expensive meals at decent restaurants. She cited the people of Lagos as examples of those who are fond of patronizing street food vendors indiscriminately, and with many of them without bothering about the health risks, consumption of such foods portends. Well, how would they bother to ask about the health risks when maybe he hasn't eaten for about 5 hours that day, and maybe he doesn't have much change on him to buy food to go and cook at home.
All right, let's check out few other political stories. This coming from the Vanguard, where APC has no structure. It's a one-man show. Bode George, former Deputy National Chairman of the PDP, Chief Bode George, has dismissed the ruling APC as lacking any real political structure, describing it as a one-man show. The other statesman made the statement yesterday during an appearance on Lagos-based television while addressing the possibility of a third political force such as the SDP imagine ahead of the 2027 general elections. He emphasized that any meaningful political alternative must prioritize the people and not personal ambitions. Bode George says APC has no structure. It is a one-man show.
Well,
all right, a quick one from business before we start picking calls again. Tinkan Customs breaks revenue record, generates 347 billion naira in 2025 quarter one. The Tinkan Island Ports Command of the Nigerian Customs Service, the second largest customs command in Nigeria by size, volume and value, has broken its revenue record for the first quarter of 2025 by generating 347 billion 935 million 672,476 naira, which is 12.6% higher than the 304 billion generated in the corresponding period of 2024. Given a breakdown on the collections, the Customs Area Controller of the Command, Comptroller Frank Okechukwu Onyeka, said that the adoption of the Comptroller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi's policy of consolidation, collaboration and innovation in carrying out its functions have rightly aided its performances at the command. Good one for them at Tinkan Island.
Yes.
Generating revenue for the country.
Yes.
Improved one.
Good ones. And a good one. And some other agencies too and corporations too do generate fantastic amount of cash for the federal government. Well, I think
but does that not say a lot about our importation culture in this country, that we still import a lot?
Yes, we still import a lot. But there are some countries that still import and they are okay.
Well, but then industrialization is still key.
Yes.
Government needs to do something about it.
Yes.
All right.
We've
said a lot.
Yes.
I think we should pick calls.
Yes, some calls are trying to come in now. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Alex again for Wele.
You are welcome.
On CPM matter, because it get the person, let it work on the ground. Let him come and change physically. Not the way you need to say this one. Or it's a lie. I told you, you go and see that. You can see what you're supposed to for withdraw. Supposed to for nothing. I don't know what they're going to do there. But people are not talking. But as I'm concerned, Kato is not very well. Thank you much.
Thank you very much. Yes, more calls 08055009850. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am Adimola from Sweden.
Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
So I'm in the United States of America on tariff. The tariff it has been the focus of controversy. Some countries are worried. So we are of the opinion that the tariffs are high, and the country should agree to collaborate on low tariff. Then there will be better standard of living, balancing trade relationship. And on the naira for food oil, that it should continue to invest. So we commend the government president. So and our president, there's need to increase production. And the plan we need go the federal government to go. So we are told the fuel prices we reduce. And the river crisis, at one time there were crises. People disagree, and some people are violent, and there's no discipline. And Fubara was not impeached; he was suspended. So the governor should be patient, and we think the federal government remains interested in the solutions, and the new administrator should be given a chance because he is committed and people must move forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yes, I will take this commercial break. We'll be back.
If person ask you say wetin be the game where they totori you pass, you go tell them say na better know all the time. No go tell yourself make you follow join for the ogbonge betting options, fast cash out, missions wey dey engaging and get welcome bonus wey fit reach 200,000 naira. Better know the game don't start. Make you dey bet responsibly. Now only for people wey don pass 18 years. Better know na proud partner of Aston Villa.
The program is still Conversation on Oluyole FM 98.5 in Ibadan. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Good morning, Mr.
Buluwaji.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
Now, on the issue of tax war in between US and other countries around the world and others, I said this when the business started, that the only country which I think can stand the test of time will be China. The other ones they bought by the wayside, Canada, Mexico, Wales again. They might try to some extent, but when it comes to, they have a lot of relationship with US and business influences. Yes, they have a lot of businesses in their country. So by the time business starts getting deeper, they will not be able to stand the test of time because their economy often depends on the United States economy. So only China can survive, I think, for a very long time. But later, US will be doing something. They will be gathering their allies all over the world. And the allies are the strong European countries. So from there, I think China too will have to go to the third world countries and which China has already been before. So I think China's what they call this standard trade will now be lesser, which we I think pay other third countries for them to do business with. So that's what I'm just thinking. Then on the issue of, they said the federal workers in the United States, that they are going to, Trump is going to call them. He has said this thing when he was campaigning, that is going to cost the agencies in the United States, that they have so many agencies with people doing nothing. And those people are people who are working for more. When I read this thing some days ago, they said most of them are working for due to what happened at the COVID-19 issue. So they've now ended that working for Monday. So it's going to cost it and pay them 8 months salary. You know, the benefit is not that big. That one is short. But 8 months salary and all that. So those people do not want to, and which is understandable anyway. So let them continue their problem and let us face our own too. So thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes, this one more call. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Philip Alawi from Alakasheboru.
Yes,
I just
welcome.
want to comment on the student crying to Peter Obi, who said that Nigeria is collapsing. If the world of Obi has something to go by, schedules that have been helping in the past, they are now begging for their assistance. The economic policy of this government is not working.